He has come to enslave Eternia.
I am Skeletor, overlord of evil.
His power knows no limits.
Have you the faintest inkling to whom you speak?
His hordes will stop at nothing. Unfortunately, they don't stand a chance.
I believe I'm going to gag.
Catch He-Man 5 days a week. Masters of the Universe. Weekdays at 5. Only Toonami.
Bastards are gonna own me.
Papa's getting wasted tonight.
I am completely out of ammo.
Cross my heart, smack me dead, stick a lobster on my head.
Situation has indeed worsened. You think?
And when I return, I'm gonna drink a bottle of scotch, as if it were Chicky von Richthofen's blood, and celebrate.
Afraid we're at an impasse. You really are filthy.
And fine.
Come upstairs and see my etching.
All right, everybody, you can punch in, you can't punch out. Welcome back to the Graveyard Shift of Forgotten Television Shows. That's right, we are Nostalgia TV, and I am back with Kevin as always. Now, Kevin, I did not check out He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in 2002, so I have no memory of this thing. You do. You want to tell everybody about your experience with this?
So there I was, just minding my business one day at work, and I'm reading a Wizard magazine, and they have this preview saying that there's going to be a new He-Man series coming out, and I fucking almost shit my dick. I was so excited, seriously. And I didn't know what channel it was going to be on. I flipped out. I had all these questions, and it didn't matter because I didn't have TV. So
there's the punchline, everybody.
So I got this when it finally came out on DVD.
Okay.
And yeah, I watched it when each DVD set came out. So there was a bit of waiting in between.
That's pretty cool. I know for trying to get the DVDs nowadays, they're kind of expensive. So if you didn't buy these a long time ago, good luck right now because they're all very expensive.
Yeah, and they're nice sets too. They were nice clear box sets with kind of 3D art in a way, or not 3D. They were layered because the cases themselves were plastic and had they were like animation cells. It's basically what they were. So you were layering cells on top of cells, and it looked really cool.
Yeah, when I was taking a look at them myself, I was just thinking, wow, those are kind of nice looking. I'm surprised I never really picked them up before. Now, I've heard of the show, but I don't remember this being out in 2002, but I really wasn't watching much back then. And I wasn't really watching Toonami, at all. I hadn't quite gotten into the anime spurt. And I think my foray with the Voltron reimagining at that time, kind of around that era, really dissuaded me from oh, they're remaking this show, not interested. Oh, they're remaking that show, not interested. Because I was just utterly disappointed by Voltron and 3D.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that. Were they at least cats?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the car Voltron was never my thing. So.
Oh, vehicle, yeah.
Yeah. At least if they were cats, that's part of the battle. Anyway.
Vehicle Voltron was fine, but you're going back to the 80s for that kind of animation. But they never really remade that one. Eventually, they do it on Netflix for Voltron, and I actually ended up liking that Legendary Defender, but. When the other Kevin Smith did He-Man on Netflix, I tried to watch it and I just couldn't stomach what I was seeing. So, it wasn't a He-Man show, it was a Tila show.
Well, at least the half that I saw was, yeah. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to give Tila a story of how she's becoming the sorceress or the next sorceress. That wasn't what I was there to see. That's great. That was a story that Kev had to tell, and I'm sure it was a great story. What I saw, it was really good. It just wasn't what I was necessarily there to see, but it made me cry. Like it seriously kicked me in the feels. I didn't like it.
God damn it, you made me cry. I'm gonna kick you in the nuts, other Kevin Smith.
No, I love him. I'll never say an unkind word about Mr. Smith. He's always been really nice to me. But yeah, I'll finish it one day eventually. I will. I didn't dislike it that much. I didn't think it was what everyone said it was. I agree with what you're saying. It is a show about Tila, not about He-Man. That's what I saw in that first half.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be that continuation of the original 1983 series. So the Gen X babies were supposed to get either a little bit of closure or at least to scratch that itch that we've been having for the last 40 years. And it was, but it wasn't necessarily that.
Yeah, and we're also going to be getting the new live action movie that they've been in production on, starring Jared Leto and a wide variety of a cast. So I guess we'll see what that's going to entail next year. And He-Man is kind of venturing back into the pop culture a little bit, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. And we also had that mid-80s movie with Dolph Lundgren. Frank Langella.
I have to point out Evil Skeletor. Skelly is making a huge comeback online. He is a cultural phenomenon on the internet, especially on Twitter and Facebook. Where is his handle? I want to shout him out because he really does bring like Skeletor and He-Man memes back to life. Not everyone. I said evil. Anyway, it's Evil Skeletor. He's on Facebook and Twitter. Son of a bitch.
Oh, that's fine.
Riveting.
Well, Skeletor is absolutely an icon of our
real
generation.
At real bad Skeletor. Yeah.
Let me look that up while we're doing this. Real bad Skeletor.
Yeah, REALBAD Skeletor. If you like debauchery and just disgusting memes, dirty jokes, like total honest sexual humor, Skelly is right up your alley. Like he's fucking hysterical. So debaucherous. He is not nice.
And well said in your header on here, I'm surrounded by idiots. I'll shoot that man a follow.
Totally makes my day every day. Funny ass memes.
Oh, and friend of the show, Toasty's got a follow on him too, so that's funny. Okay, I gotta look. This page can hurt your feelings at any time. It's up to you if you laugh with us or cry like a little bitch. Okay, I'm definitely following this account. Right on. That's for our audience out there. We're more on the mature side for shows, so if you're a little offended by language, content, mature situations, bye. That's why we call it the graveyard shift. We run a little bit later at night. It's total chill mode. Just talking about old shows that people don't really talk about anymore, but sometimes there are shows that people do finally remember, and this is absolutely one of them. Because when you brought this up as one to do, I was like, okay, I'm going to dip in and see if there's an audience for this. Yes, there is still a very active audience for this on Facebook with some groups. There's some, you just pointed out a Twitter handle that's got some pretty decent follows going on it. So it's still out there. And Skeletor and He-Man, they are like pop culture icons from our generation, and they keep somehow persisting to this day. I think Skeletor is one of the most awesome looking villains ever created.
Yes.
The whole look, the whole dynamic, and then his cat, Pantor.
Yep.
Is freaking awesome. Him and Battle Cat, great yin yang situation going on. So your hero's only as good as the villain, and I would say that absolutely worked on this show to a T. So you're talking 80s show, 2002, and both these shows delivered on that front.
Yeah, and not every He-Man product has been fantastic, but I would say this and the 1983 series are most certainly fantastic.
Yeah, and I got like the 83 series on Blu-ray over here from Germany, so I can't wait to bust that open next year.
Oh, I heard that is fantastic. I saw somebody talking about that online today, and they said the color is just fucking stellar. Like the US should be ashamed of what they have.
Keep talking, I'll go get
it. Like he took a picture of his screen and then apologized because the pictures did it no justice. And I'm like, shit, dude, that looks pretty much 4K. Like they were showing in the background just images of Snake Mountain and how there would be like red from all the lava and stuff like that, and you could see the different shades of how the lava was going from like really hot to like cooling down, and then where it was less hot, like there was more shadowed area. So I mean, there was just detail that we didn't get to see in the transfers on the US versions. Ah, that's pretty.
Still sealed. I haven't opened it yet. And let's see. This contains the original series and She-Ra, Princess of Power, the whole shebang, baby.
That is,
and yes,
so
it is in English. So if I want to play this, I can.
Doesn't show people shitting on each other. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a German joke?
Somebody.
Ooh, that's pretty too.
This is $33 on Amazon right now.
That's the German version?
No, this is the omnibus. This is the comic book series.
Oh, cool. 33 is not bad.
It's usually about 50, but I noticed it was like 35. I'm actually going to start reading this very soon, actually.
Cool. Good for you, dude. Well done.
Well, I got that a while ago, but I keep checking every once in a while because I thought, if I never open it and the price goes up, maybe I'll just sell it. But nah, I'm a kid. I like my He-Man. I'll read it. They used to have the toys too.
I had all the toys except for He-Man. Somehow my He-Man always got stolen or lost, but I had all the other toys. Never knew what it was like to fucking have Skeletor and He-Man fight at the same time, though.
I had Skeletor and I had about 6, and then I had the Battle Cat, and most of them were stolen, and a couple of them got broke somehow, and I probably my own damn fault for breaking a couple of them, but I know I had Man-at-Arms.
I had Man-at-Arms. I had Buzz Off. His wings fell off all the time. Mechaneck, Stratos.
I don't think I had Mechaneck.
Stratos had a rubber head that you could pinch. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And a backpack that you fastened onto him. I don't know. They were all so cool. And I did not collect any of the toys in the 2000 series. And I have not collected any of the toys now. I saw Prince Adam and Cringer, which usually go for 50. I saw them for like 15.
Oh.
And I was like, yo, God, that would look so cool on the desk. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Keep walking.
Like, I can't justify buying a fucking Cringer action figure to my wife. But that's Battle Cat, Pumpkin. Really, it's cool.
He's a good kitty. Just saying.
And he talks like this.
in the original show. In this version, he doesn't speak at all.
At all, no.
Which was throwing me for half the show. I'm like, he usually says something when he's like a big old chicken.
Yeah, and they didn't need to do that in this one, and that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it better than what they did with Revelation. In Revelation, they just told Stephen Root, you know what? We know you do all those amazing voices. Just talk like you.
Jesus.
And it doesn't sound
like Stephen. Just saying.
Yes, God, he's a fucking genius. But it's like they didn't let him like chew anything with that character, and they could have.
Yeah. That's the way of the beast. But unless you got any other thoughts before we jump in, we can get into a little episode breakdown.
So, for those that haven't watched this yet, or for new to He-Man, He-Man was this huge cultural phenomenon in the early 80s that set off this huge chain reaction of making cartoons to sell toys. Like it kicked off the 80s as far as merchandising goes. And they came up with this wonderful idea to empower kids, to make them like basically tell their parents what to buy. I have the power. And they
consumerism.
They really sold that to kids in the 80s. They sold it to kids. We've still got it now. Now we're adults. We're fucking up the economy, but we have the power. So the cartoons were all great. They were written by Joe Straczynski and a variety of other fucking phenomenal writers, people that loved mythology. They loved swords and sandals type stories. They grew up reading it. They grew up writing it. They're still writing it. Still excellent writers today. But the show was dumbed down for a very young audience. So what it was a short show with a moral or theme that introduced a new character or a new set of characters that was going to have an action figure that the kids are going to say, I want to buy that one. So like once a week, they were selling a new fucking figure. And the 2002 series was that as well, but it wasn't just singular filler episodes, which there's like 83 episodes in the first season. I think that was all just like filler episodes that had PSAs at the end. This was for Mattel wanted to bring in new kids, but the writers had already started writing for the original audience that was now in their 20s. And so you have a much more mature storyline. You still have your PSAs. You still have characters that are all going to be like, oh, this week, this is the new character, and that's going to be his new toy. That does still happen. I can't say that it was bothersome. I really enjoyed it. It felt nostalgic. But golly, when they started getting on with the story and a continuous story and giving character background and development, I just salivated for this.
Yeah, that's something I was noticing when I was watching the show here too. It's like my vague enough memories of the 80s show. I remember like bits and pieces, but I know most of the characters and character names. This one, I felt like, wow, I'm actually getting a lot of backstory here, a lot of character buildup. I'm getting proper origin stories, and also enough to feel like Skeletor is a badass. Yeah. And when he flees, it's largely because his plan didn't go according to what he really intended to do. It was more escaping that situation than wondering if he was going to get caught. Because if he got caught, he'd go next level badass. And we hit a few episodes where he actually has to fight like King Randor and He-Man, and he's holding his own against the both of them at the same damn time. And it's like, I don't remember that. And that was different. And after that, I kept looking at Skeletor like, this dude is overpowered, but not to the point I don't think they can take him. It's what do they have to do to take him down? Because they can put him on the defensive, but they can't necessarily truly defeat him. So it kind of makes you wonder, what do they got to do? What do they got to level up? Like, how do you combat that? And then it also started me down a rabbit hole of like, so is Skeletor technically a bigger bad than Hordak? And is he like the most evil, terrifying villain in this world, period? Because I know in the next season we get to like King Hiss, which we're not going to get to that on this round, everybody. We got plans for season 2 coming up. So we'll tip everybody off a little bit later on.
Yes, and that was our plan the entire time.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all punched in. Hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go.
I fucked up this morning, but at the very least, I got a good Slammin' Salmon reference in after the fact.
That's right, you did.
Whatever, motherfucker!
Mister, there's 4 seasons. Wait,
3.
There's only 2. And he's like, no. Like, no. They didn't do what they did on Netflix with Voltron and turn like 13 episodes into like 6 and call each of those a season.
Yeah, I thought that's what it did. I thought it was like 26, 26, and 26, but it's kind of like, I don't remember the first season being this long. I remember this happening later on in the second season. All right, then. We'll just continue watching on Amazon. Didn't bring out the DVDs this time. Nope.
That's where I was watching the show from, was Amazon Prime. But I did notice it is a little bit on YouTube from the Mattel YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know if it's the official one. It almost has to be if they're broadcasting it on YouTube.
I would think, because Masters of the Universe does have a lot of different videos for free online on YouTube on their channel. They've got like 5-hour blocks.
Yeah.
It's pretty
cool.
cool.
And the animation's pretty damn good for the most part, too. They do recycle the transformation sequences quite a bit.
Yeah, but not as bad as the original series. Like the original series, they had like 5 or 6 action shots, and that was it. This, they repeat the transformation, a few punches here and there. And I don't know if they did that on purpose.
Flying kicks, dude. Come on.
Flying kicks. Fucking Man-at-Arms getting knocked back. But it was nostalgic.
By Skeletor later on.
That punch. The face, or the punch to the face.
Well, I like when he went all War Machine towards the end of the 26 episodes.
Yes.
And Skeletor's like, nice try, buddy.
Oh, where they get the stones?
Yeah.
That was that was different. That made me think of the movie, and I was just kind of like, oh God, no, that doesn't need to be.
Yeah. But I'd say the last little bit I would have from before we get into an episode breakdown here is I appreciated the new opening sequence for this. It's only like about 25 seconds long, and it starts with, "Hi, I'm Adam, and this is my pet Kringor, and we're here to do He-Man." And then all of a sudden Skeletor comes swooping in and he's like, nah, screw this, let's get right to the action. And then it goes, He-Man, the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, we don't have time to fuck around with all that happiness and music and shit. There's a battle going on. Like, they wanted you to know this was intense.
Yep. And we're gonna have some action, and most of the episodes are pretty action packed, so yeah, I appreciated that.
No, this was fun. This was everything I could have hoped for at that age and at this age. I again, 20 years later, greatly enjoyed watching this again.
Yeah, and I appreciated just about everything out of this. I mean, there's some filler episodes I'm not a big fan of, but it's like, I don't hold that against like the great cast that they had. And Kevin, there was a familiar voice in here. We just did First Wave on our show, and one of the secondary cast members that was a guest star on that show was Gary Chalk, and he voiced I think Man-at-Arms here and a couple other characters. So that was really fun. I'm like, I know that voice, but he's also a very recurring character on Stargate SG-1 as a Russian general, actually.
And apparently he also did the voice of He-Man in the 90s cartoon.
And there was a 90s one? I don't even remember that one either.
No, there wasn't. The 90s cartoon exists with Neverending Story 3.
There is no Neverending Story 3, Kevin.
I know.
And there's only 2 seasons of He-Man 2002.
That's true.
That's true.
Apparently.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, no better time to start working through the 26 episodes, but the first 3 are basically called the beginning. We're just going to clump those in, and the final 2 episodes will do the same thing as well. There's really no other 2-parters in here, so I think we'll have a good flow here. But let's see here. In the past, Eternia is attacked by the sorcerer Keldor and his evil warriors battling against Captain Randor and the Masters of the Universe. The elders of Eternia, aware of this attack, seal away their magical power into an orb and prophesize that our hero will rise to defend Eternia from the evil in the future before Randor defeats Keldor by deflecting a vial of poison into his face. Hello, Joker. I am the Batman. I am going to disfigure you and make you my worst enemy of my entire family.
Siblings, they squabble.
Well, that comes to a good question. Like, there's a lot more of the plot here, but this is basically the setup. And then we get to Adam years later, Skeletor's making an attack on the wall that's separating the 2 hemispheres. And he breaks it down, and now war is starting to break out amongst them. And hey, I need to increase my army this, I need to increase my army that. So that's basically the pivot point of the whole show. And Adam discovering the Sword of Power, becoming He-Man in order to battle Skeletor. Now, Kevin, what did you kind of think of this bit of an origin story? I didn't know, I don't even remember this from the 80s show, at all. Was he always Keldor? And was he always, an old friend of, Man-at-Arms and Randor? It's what the hell is going on here?
They made him Randor's brother. That was the huge twist, is he was Randor's brother who wanted power.
In season 3 when they revealed that then?
Either that or in the first 5 seconds of the pilot. But I don't
remember that here. They made it seem like they were definitely close, though.
Yeah, they, as far as I know, they were brothers. Chad would probably know that better than I. I'm not sure. I don't recall.
Probably.
But
come on, Chad.
If he's not watching, God damn it. I liked that because Skeletor did not have a backstory in the original. He was just the bad guy. And this made him much more sinister. He'd been plotting against Eternia, not just his brother, but the throne, and not just the throne, but the elders themselves. He wanted to take the whole caboodle. He was as bad as they came. And Randor was the savior, and he didn't want to be. It just turned out to be that way. And then they left him as king, and he didn't want that.
He's like, king? What? I loved the reaction. I don't want to be king. I want to be a captain.
I wanted to go home after all this shit.
No, now I got to move to this place. Oh, man.
Yeah, so that was a really, really cool intro, and to see Trapjaw before he was turned half machine was really cool. Also, to see Skeletor with a face as Keldor was really, really neat. And then that big long stretch of not getting to see his face for 45 minutes at least was just really cool.
Birds. Yeah. It wasn't until the 3rd episode that we got a full reveal, I believe.
Yeah, and
I appreciated that. You hide the face under the hood, and it worked.
Mm-hmm. Because the face in the hood was just kind of a way to cover up that there was a skull there, I think, in the original.
Yeah.
And this, they made it work more. It was a cloak. It was the hood, like you said. It actually functioned to cover his face. And it looked so fucking badass. And what worked even better is when they revealed that face. It wasn't the old yellow like they had in the old series or even in the old toys, which was like yellow and green. This was like a whiter, actual, more bone-looking color, and they gave him fangs. And it looked so demonically cool.
Yeah, I appreciated the little subtle detail changes on that. It really made him look a lot sinister and a lot more demonic, like you just pointed out. Like, I enjoyed the look. I mean, yes, it was a little more rounded. I would have liked it a little more sharper. But that's probably just the way they had to animate the style, because if they're going to have the jaw moving for talking ability, you got to make some adjustments to the overall look. And, they made adjustments to everybody's look, but I think they did a pretty good job working within those confines and just giving it a new updated look for the time. And I think it worked out for the best. So, I mean, he still had the iconic outfit, basically the old, still iconic look. They didn't tweak too terribly much or strayed from it. So I appreciated that they kept what they did.
Yeah, and that's fairly true for all the characters. They did a really good job of remaining true to the spirit and the aesthetic of the originals.
Like Ram Man, I'm just like, dude, that's spot on.
Yeah, because Ram Man, like, how much could you have done with that? Like, he was a very base character. He had non-movable legs because they were springs, and you pushed him down, and then you pressed a button on his ass that made the springs release, and he popped up into the air. So, I mean, it was a very limited toy. It didn't have any arm movements, I don't think.
I had that one. I'm pretty sure I broke that one.
But in this, like, they drew him so cool to where he could take part of his helmet off, and he still had that metal plate on top of his head, which just kind of adds this whole other element of storytelling. Like, Ram Man actually has a metal plated head. That's fucking ingenious somehow, and I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, it was weird when he would have the helmet actually off, like whenever they'd go fishing. It was kind of funny. He'd just be kind of like, you could actually see most of the face and the head.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, that's a change. I like that. That's okay. Not everybody has to be in
at the Juggernaut
the entire time.
Yeah, like, it was a really, really neat concept that they did, and I was like, bravo, y'all. I dig that.
The detail, the subtle detail work.
Mm-hmm.
And then, even Man at Arms. Oh, hey, he takes his hat off sometimes too. Oh, he's got a nice head of hair. Right on.
Man bun, but whatever.
Yeah, little man bunny.
We don't judge.
Adam looked pretty good. He-Man had a great look too.
The only update to He-Man that they did that I did not care for was the sword. Didn't care for the sword at all. The moving pieces was kind of lame.
The sword pommel. It goes to a 90-degree angle, so it looks like it's a quad little pommel coming out.
Yeah. Now the lights blowing out of fucking Castle Grayskull, that was cool. It made no sense, but I still liked it anyway. I didn't give a shit.
Channeling the power of Grayskull.
But you know what? I don't think they could have done that transformation and impressed me. I liked the original transformation so much. I liked the style of animation that they did, like we just talked about on Secret and Nim this week. It was the same style of animation, and that's one of the things that just made it look so singular. And they didn't do that with this, and I don't know why. And I think it hurt that. Like, they just used regular animation on it, nothing special about it. And again, with it being as repetitive as it was, having it not be a special transformation was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I said something unkind. I need to go whip myself now.
Well, that'll take a while.
I got Kelly here, so this will be quick.
Oh, God, yeah, the meat tenderizer. Great music, great fights. Love Battle Cat. Basically, solid introduction all around for everybody. And I like Adam being like, "I'm no brave warrior. I'm just a kid." So that was a good line. And
that was a good evolution for Adam, I think. Like,
yeah,
in a roundabout way, He-Man is not the boss of this show. Man-at-Arms
No.
is.
Yes.
And He-Man is Adam, very much so. I mean, you always know that they're the same person. Clark is He-Man, or Clark is He-Man. Clark is Superman. Adam is He-Man. Same principle. But in this, it's more like Shazam, where Billy is Shazam.
Yes.
Like, he's still a 15-year-old kid in the body of the most powerful man in the universe. So he has Man-at-Arms to tell him what he needs to do. Like, his heart tells him what the right thing to do is in right and wrong situations, but battle logistics, Man-at-Arms is telling him what to do all the time.
Yeah. And Man-at-Arms, he certainly seems like he's trying to be like a second dad to Adam half the time, while also trying to be a dad to Tila as well. So
yes, and not let them fornicate, but they will.
Yeah, quits. You two, hands off, and it's close to your bedtime.
Yeah, damn it.
But there's no, they don't have too much of a romantic like relationship between the two, so it's fine.
No,
I'd say it's kind of like implied, but they never really come right out and do anything about it. At least as far as I could tell through 26 episodes.
No, not in this series at all. They're brother and sister.
Well, no, that would be She-Ra, and they didn't even like allude to that like at all during this whole season. So,
no, I think if they would have gotten the 4th or 5th season, She-Ra would have eventually been brought in.
Probably because they were setting up like Hordak and things like that a little bit here and there. So
yeah, and the evil Horde was a wonderful set of villains. Like it's really upsetting that they didn't get to do that.
I even remember that from like the older show, like Skeletor and his crew was always one thing, but Hordak was always just a little bit nastier.
Yeah, and was always...
He wasn't nearly as powerful. He was just more manipulative and nastier.
Yeah, and he had more robots and shit, and nastier machines than Skeletor did.
I always wanted to see those two kind of go toe-to-toe with each other.
Yeah. That'd have been
Well,
awesome.
and something happens later on in these 26 episodes that I'm like, oh, one of his own little personal God, that Count Marvel?
Yeah.
He has his little ram gem, and he's like, you know what? His back is turned. I'm gonna get this little bastard, and he fires at him, and then you see the cliff disappeared, but you see Skeletor still levitating there, and it's, in that moment it's like, oh shit! I think you just pissed off Skeletor. He turns right around, comes back, and just takes the damn gems from him. Like, you little shit! You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then he reminds them that he let all of his lieutenants get captured, and he liked them.
Imagine what he's going to do to you.
Yeah, like, I don't like you. I'll let you guys get fucked up. So,
yeah, if you guys die, I don't care. I'll get my other people back very soon.
I almost watched episode 27.
Well, I almost want to, just to get the resolution a little bit.
You can.
It does end on a cliffhanger, everybody. So
yeah.
So if you're watching the show and you get through 26 episodes, you're gonna want to watch one more.
It's worth it. It's a good episode.
Yeah. So I might still be doing that. No, very solid beginning. I think this was off to a great start. And Yeah, pretty damn good so far going in. Episode 4, we roll into the courage of Adam. From their battle in the previous episode, Skeletor deduces that He-Man has something to do with the Elder's power, that his sentimentality is his greatest weakness, plotting to exploit this by kidnapping Prince Adam to lure the hero into a trap. Meanwhile, Adam is troubled by Teela, Man-at-Arm's adopted daughter. I don't think they've stated she's an adopted daughter quite yet, but we're getting there. And his childhood friend, viewing him as a coward for abandoning the battle against the evil warriors. In order to prove himself, he decides to join Stratos on a diplomatic mission to Andrinos, which is observed by Skeletor. Using Adam's brashness to his advantage, Skeletor successfully sends his henchmen to kidnap him, demanding He-Man in exchange. Boy, these are some long synopses. I might want to move to a different synopsis place here.
For 20 minutes, it was kind of a complex episode.
Yeah, these first 4 or 5 are just wow, there's a lot happening.
Well, they've got to introduce the characters. They've got to introduce the characters, a little bit about them, their culture, who they are. So that way the kids are going to be like, oh shit, that's from this toy's from those people.
Yeah.
But and again, Buzz-Off was a cool character.
A lot of the characters are really cool. I like it when we get to Cyclone. I'm like, damn, that dope.
Yeah. They did him really well in this episode or in this series.
I thought so. A lot of the characters they did.
Yeah, they made him more samurai than anything, and you're just kind of like, all right, that's probably cultural misappropriation, but I like this.
A little different.
He had a Ronin code to him. It was just really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. What did I write down here? Skeletor now, even though in Skeletor's in his defeat, he understands. Oh, so there's something going on at Castle Grayskull. Now I need to figure out what the hell's going on there and dip into it, because I like how they treat Castle Grayskull as this rinky-dink dust bin of a time long past that we don't even use anymore. Why the hell's everybody starting to head over there? Something's clearly going on, and Skeletor's no dummy. He's like, we may have lost, but I just learned a very important thing here. Something's going on at Grayskull, and I'm going to find out.
Yep. The elders are gone, and their power is somewhere around, and it smells like it's over there.
Yep, and I want that power, He-Man.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what it is. He
doesn't.
What power is. But the fact that there is something that the elders had that he wants and he doesn't know what it is so fucking enticing to Skeletor that he can't not go after it.
Right. And he still doesn't even know much about the sorceress either. He knows there's something and someone there as well. Something more than He-Man is protecting Grayskull. But throughout these 26 episodes, they don't really come face to face at all. It's usually at a distance.
Yeah, not like in the original show or the movie.
Right.
There was plenty of "I'm here to kill you." Well, no, you're going to go fuck yourself in the original series.
Yeah.
A lot of those moments yelling up at her from the drawbridge or from the other side of the drawbridge.
Right.
He-Man took that spot in a lot of those episodes here, where he'd be the one stopping right in front of the before Skeletor could get there.
Right.
But you're right. There wasn't a whole lot of knowledge of that Skeletor had about Eternia, in general. He would know certain things about certain races and cultures and stuff. But again, to your point, didn't know anything about the mystery of the elders, didn't know anything about the sorceress per se that we knew of anyway, didn't know anything about Castle Grayskull and its secret. So Skelly had a lot of learning to do for being so smart.
Well, he had also been trapped in the Dark Hemisphere for God knows how long. And he had some catching up to do. I mean, like you just mentioned, he had some knowledge. It's there's these artifacts. There's the legend of this that we should check out. But since the wall had still been up, he hadn't had a chance to figure it out. Now he has a chance to get exploring and invading and creating chaos.
Yeah. doing what Skelly does.
God, I love Skeletor in this show. He is so goddamn conniving and evil. Love it.
And has zero fucks to give for his own crew. Like, if this should slightly irritate him, he is gonna fuck them up.
Yeah, he does not. What is the phrase? He does not beget fools, so to speak.
Yeah,
He does not put up with idiocy too much. I mean, he might quote unquote like you, but he's still gonna like torture you if you screw up.
Yes, yeah. Like, there is no tolerance for failure, and there is no liking anybody. Like, there's this great episode where Whiplash thinks that he's exempt from Skeletor's anger, and he just kind of hangs back with Skeletor while the others get banished from the room. And you just see Skeletor's eyes start to glow.
Yeah, that's when you know he's getting really mad, when the red eyes start popping on. I like how they start very small, and then they increase in size. The angrier he gets, it becomes almost like a meme. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, like that McMahon meme where he's like falling out of his chair and shit. Like, it's getting better. Now it's really good.
Oh, I'm exploding now. Super good.
I'm out of root beer.
Episode 5, Skywar, preying on the fragile truce between the Andronids and the Avionians. Skeletor starts a war that threatens to tear the Mystic Mountains apart. Yeah, let's see. On this one, let's see what I write down. Skeletor is wicked, but he's not so overpowered that he can't be combated as a threat. And He-Man's not stupid.
No,
He-Man actually is intelligent with some of his fights and confrontations with Skeletor.
Well, he has to be, because there's a lot of ways that Adam's not as smart in battle when it comes to Skeletor. Like, hand to hand, Skeletor's smarter than him. Like, he really is. He's been in a lot more battles. Adam gets shit on all the time for failing his defense classes. And it's like,
and manners for royalty.
Yeah, he doesn't know the difference between a salad and dinner fork. So, you know, and
You're
doesn't know why he gets.
Kid.
You're fired.
No.
But no, this one was fun. This was a neat episode that showed the manipulation of Skeletor.
Yes.
Trying to wag the dog, basically, and start a war between the two races that together could not necessarily stop Skeletor, but could prevent him from advancing further.
Yep. A strategic political game he is trying to play here to, hey, maybe if they can take each other out, I don't have to do too much and I can go about my business.
Yeah. And roll on over them.
Yeah, excuse me while I conduct my business here.
My business.
But
you know, for as terrified as I am in real life of bees, I loved these characters. I loved these people. They were just so cool looking, and they improved them from the original designs.
I'd say it all looked pretty solid to me.
Yeah. Like, the original Buzz Off was like barrel chested, looked a lot like He-Man, but with the bee head. Yeah. This
I think they could go with more unique designs around now.
Yes.
So everybody had a different identity going on. So when you would see them, you'd be like, that's Buzz Off, that's Cyclone, that's Man at Arms, that's Tila. You know, it's everybody. Mechaneck. I liked Mechaneck. He was alright.
Mechaneck was cool, but all of the Masters had Marty McFly syndrome at one point or another, where like someone could trigger them somehow.
I know. And I wrote that down like later on. I'm like, this is starting to get old. You'd think by now they'd all understand, like, hey, if I just talk to Adam or talk to these people, like, are you even watching your own PSAs, guys? Like, come on here.
Stop keeping secrets. It's not good.
Yeah. Oh, you hurt me by saying something to me. Then talk to them. Of course, they probably didn't mean it. Just the way you took it. It's like, oh, thick skin people, come on,
Thick skin.
y'all can do it. But this is a pretty decently rated episode. All these episodes I'm seeing are on IMDb here are rated at least a 7.3 or higher.
Yes, and the fact that they're not rated even higher than that is actually a little surprising, because these were actually really good. Now, my wife would not agree with that, but comparing to this, to its predecessor, comparing it to its contemporaries, it's far better than it deserved.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't pointed out yet that He-Man is Cam Clark. Golly, that I didn't really put that together until this viewing, and then once I realized who it was, I couldn't unhear it. So now I'm hearing Leonardo in the back of my head every time He-Man says something. I'm like, oh man, now it's going to be hokey.
I recognized the name. I didn't know where from, though. Interesting.
Yep, that's Leonardo. And he's awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, there was, like, Lisa who was in this, too. She was from, like, some G.I. Joe stuff, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Brian Dobson plays Skeletor.
Yep.
And
that was awesome. That was a great job. I liked him better than I did, like, Mark Hamill doing Skeletor, which just basically sounded like Joker.
Yeah, yeah. And I love Mr. Hamill, don't get me wrong, but I would have preferred Mr. Dobson over Mr. Hamill. It sounded more like Skeletor to me.
Exactly. Let's see here.
I felt the evil.
Yes, that the evil flow through you.
I am not nice.
And I do not suffer fools. It suffer fools. God. That took a minute. Let's see here. Episode 6, The Deep End. An unexpected power surge across Eternia prompts the heroes and the villains to search the Sea of Rakash for answers. Basically, what I wrote down about this one is protecting Grayskull. He-Man's got to destroy a crystal. And there's a giant sea creature that turned into a kaiju.
Oh, yeah, this one.
And Orko is a bit of a nuisance, but I always liked Orko, and that's just how he's always been in, like, every version from what I understand. He's just same old character. Just sometimes they tweak his backstory a little, that's all.
That was one of the things I did like about Revelations. Ooh, that's what made me cry too, motherfucker. Anyway. Yeah, Orko's, he was always my favorite of the sidekick characters. Probably the only one I really did like. Was never a fan of Snarf. Brian was okay in Inspector Gadget, but I always really liked Orko. He was never too much.
No, I never felt he was like that annoying in the original show, but that could be just my memory of that and the nostalgia I have for the original show. But in this one, he never really bothered me all that much. I'm like, either they took it down a notch or they just understood like there's something more to his character, and we'll eventually dip into it here and there. And you end up finding out, like, you know, he would like to go home, but it's a hell of a spell to try and send him back, and he's got to talk to the sorceress about doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she gives him this show, or she just tells him, like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I can send you back, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah, and she knows that she's going to fuck with him, and get him to see that he does want to stay, but she has to bring him to make that decision for himself. And so you get a little bit of shades of Matrix there, and it was kind of neat.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, you've already made that decision. Now you need to understand why you made that decision.
Right. And when I was digging into it, it's like, he also like lost his wand when he came to this world, and that would help him focus his powers. That's another reason why he's a little aloof with his magic sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a court jester.
And that was great because they did mention before that in Trala, he is a powerful sorcerer or potentially a powerful sorcerer,
Right.
but he's a natural klutz for one thing. So, I mean, he had
Yes.
that going against him even in Trala, but when he came to Eternia, he lost those powers or lost control over the powers. Now they're giving it a little bit deeper of a story that there was a relic that he used to harness that, like Thor had with his hammer. And
Mjolnir.
they just scratched the surface of it, but it's enough to make you use your imagination and go, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, we get Merman in this episode. I have always liked Merman.
Yeah.
And Tila being used as bait was kind of funny.
I like I like all the stink jokes at Merman's expense.
Oh man, when we get to like Stinkor though,
Oedipus.
Oedipus. I wrote down because I laughed like really hard at like what is the PSA on this, like friends together forever, and I just started like cracking up.
Together forever. Anyway.
Ever and all. Forever with you. Don't you start that shit. So
I'm
Frankie.
sorry. Everybody loves Rick Astley.
I heard that so many times growing up.
Together forever.
Oh, I love the Avatar, Frankie. That's rad.
I can't see. What do we got? Oh, really?
Thundercats. With the coat of shame.
Thundercats, no.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, God. My poor dog.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
My dog gets sores on her feet, so she's been licking at her feet incessantly, and it sounds like she's licking at her ass. And God damn, it's just so annoying. But we've got to get her this ointment to rub on her feet, and we're trying to clean up the yard as best as we can because, like, before we moved in here, this was nothing but blackberry and roses.
Oh, thorns everywhere.
Yeah, and they just cut everything down, let it lie, and let grass grow over it. So it's like when she goes to walk out there, she's walking on blackberry bushes. So we're trying to like clear out as much as we can, mow it down, rake it, burn it, whatever we could do. But goddamn, that splurching sound, it sounds like she's going down on herself and can't find the bean. And you're just like, stop, I'm having a stroke.
I believe that. We hear Tavra doing her paws too, and we're out here in the desert, so we got like mesquite branches and needles like that out here too. So,
does mesquite get thorns?
Yeah, I trimmed those when we first moved here. Within the first, I want to say, couple of weeks, and I found out very quickly. I take a branch down and it scratches my legs. Oh shit, that hurts. Oh, I'm gonna move the branch. Oh, now my hands are bleeding. Oh crap.
Oh shit, dude, no. I mean, it burns wonderfully, but no, fuck that.
Yeah, you have to wear you gotta wear your jeans, even if it's hot weather, and you gotta do it in the morning. It's just the way it goes. Well, I learned a very important lesson with that, and that would then be number 7 episode lessons. Embarrassed by his mixed up magical spells, the dejected Orko strays from the royal palace. Meanwhile, Skeletor orders Evil Lyn to steal a powerful artifact known only as the Ramstone. And we were just talking about Orko and what's going on with him wanting to go back home to Trala. But for here with the Ramstone, we actually get to meet like the faceless wizard. I forgot what his actual name was here, but I did
wasn't it Faceless One or something like that?
I did not write it down, but there was
one?
the faceless man that she took the Ramstone from that actually knew who she was, and he was basically calling her out like, so why are you still wasting your talents with Skeletor? And she's like, I know. I have my own ambitions. Boom! And shoots him off somewhere else. She's a nasty little piece of work, and I appreciate that.
Yes, she is great. Evelyn has always been faceless one. It was the
faceless one, yeah.
And it was Richard Newman. Anywho,
Nice.
Evelyn has always been one of the best characters, and it doesn't matter what version of Evelyn it is. They've just always gotten the perfect person to play her. They really have.
Yeah. Going back to Meg Foster.
Yeah. Meg Foster and this is actually Richard Newman is M. Bison. That's
really?
Cool. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Huh. Which you could check out on another one of our 0 Point reviews. Ha
ha. But no, this is a really good episode. I really like this one. The other thing I liked about this episode is they introduced the librarian, which we never see again. In the Great Library in Grayskull.
Oh,
it's like the man who's like talking to Orko while he's waiting there to go home. It's like,
that's right.
Who the hell are you and what are you doing here?
Star Wars used that character later on.
Yeah.
In the Jedi Temple.
They called in their cease and desist on that one.
Their cease and desist.
Let's see here. Episode 8, Siren Song. After suffering yet another defeat at the hands of the Masters, the evil warriors retreat back to Snake Mountain, where Evelyn suggests turning the heroes against one another. What did you think about this one, Kevin?
I liked it. It was different. I liked it because you got to see Clawful's family, and you also got to see that he's not... Most of the evil... I don't want to say evil masters, but like the Skeletor's forces of evil, most of them are not well respected within their race. Like they're kind of outcasts because they go along with Skeletor.
Yeah.
Not that their race would just naturally go along with it. And Clawful is one of those people, but there are like his cousin, bad ones that are like, oh, hey, let's help out my cousin and start fucking with these guys and start a war. And it worked out. I didn't dislike that episode. It was kind of cool, to the point where you got to see that they're trying to send a message to Clawful to take out He-Man, and was it He-Man and who else was it that they were traveling and they found? It was Man-at-Arms, wasn't it, when they were going after they were looking for his old captain?
This was the episode with Skeletor manipulating everybody and Ram Man. So they were questioning his...
That's right, where he didn't realize he was the one doing all the stuff. Okay, yeah. I got totally mixed up then. Duh.
Yeah, I'm like...
What's he talking about now? That happens 10 episodes from now.
It's okay. We'll get through. But no, I like this one because it has one of my favorite lines from Skeletor in it. My faith in Eternian justice. I knew it would pay off for me. I knew it would do its own job for me.
Even though it was all a ruse that they were just, pretending to arrest Ram Man.
Yeah, they kind of figured it out pretty quick. So at least the heroes aren't playing too stupid.
No, yeah, but I did like seeing the finger pointing of loyalty. That was cool.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you take the sacred oath? I swear.
Oh, I don't need to take no stupid oath.
All I could hear is the octopussoir in my head. I pinky swear.
I pinky swear. Yeah, that's another one that's still decently rated. The next one, though, is a highly rated one, and episode 9. This is The ties that bind, injured during a battle with the evil warriors, an unconscious Tila is taken to Castle Grayskull by Man-at-Arms and receives a blood transfusion from the sorceress. We find out that that's her mom.
She was
Sorceress.
hatched.
Yep, she was hatched and given away. She was given to Man-at-Arms to raise her because Sorceress had responsibilities with Castle Grayskull and the Elders going on. And I thought it was very touching at the very end with this one where they're having some sort of a conversation and you could see the look. The animators did a good job with the look on the Sorceress's face of how dejected she was, being like, I can't tell her I'm her mom.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Can't put her in that position, and I can't do anything anyway. And it kind of makes you wonder, well, eventually you're going to get to it, but Tila had a chance with some of the mental psychic powers going on for a little bit here, and that was kind of funny, reading people's minds, and everybody's like, stop reading my mind, woman.
Well, a lot like you said with the librarian, this is where you see the attendant in Castle Grayskull, where she's like, oh, your husband brought you those flowers when he came home from battle or whatever.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, oh, wait, Sorceress has attendants? Neat.
Yeah.
I assumed that was Sorceress, like cosplayed up as somebody else, and
I thought so too,
but no, apparently not.
All right, that was interesting, but very good episode, and finally given some backstory to like Tila for me, because I didn't remember that much from the original show.
I only vaguely remember, like
there was something in the original show. I don't remember what. And when I was looking up the backstory in general, it's like, yeah, it's implied in almost every version that Sorceress is Tila's mom anyway.
Yeah. And I think she was hatched.
Yeah.
I think
then
in the
who's the daddy? Yeah, who'd the baby daddy, Kevin?
I don't know, but in the original series, Duncan did very much have a thing for the Sorceress.
Yeah, and I think that when I was reading ahead a little bit, I think it's actually implied that it could have been that Duncan could be the dad anyway.
Yeah. So. And that I would believe that. Like he acts like he's, oh, I'll take care of her as if she was my own. Dude, she is. Don't act like he's not.
I think there was something alluded to that his memory might have gotten a little messed with, and that's why he doesn't remember that.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say a butt baby is still a baby, dude.
Yep, even if it's from Mystique. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Different property in comic book series. But awesome episode. I like when we're getting these more serialized episodes. Then we roll on into Dragon's Brood. Racing their sky sleds through the evergreen forest, Prince Adam and Tila stumble upon and rescue a large dragon trapped in a cavern by a rock slide. It's kind of a throwaway episode a little bit, but the dragon does come back a little bit later on in the season to actually help out in a pinch.
Does it? The same dragon?
Yep. Because Battle Cat gets a little aggressive with the dragon in the later episode, and He-Man's like, no. This is a friend we helped out previously.
Oh.
We don't see the kids, we just see the mom dragon.
Gotcha. And it's got the scratches or whatever.
Yes.
That's right.
On the nail.
I liked this episode. Like, it was funny because they're like, oh, but He-Man didn't help the dragon. Prince Adam did. Oh.
Well, yeah, and when it was sniffing him, it's like, oh, it knows the truth, but it doesn't speak English, so.
Yeah.
But then everybody started to kind of start to figure something was up, because they're like, well, it was Prince Adam. Well, it just smelled the goodness on me. It's like, is that a new He-Man cologne? Goodness? Calvin Klein, you wish you had a cologne. Goodness.
EU de taint.
Ode de Adam Taint.
Loincloth!
God, yeah, that's right. Okay. Episode 11, Man-at-Arms punishes Skeletor with a magical belt. I love this flippin' episode, dude. Every time he thought about doing something bad or evil, he got zapped. It's like electroshock collar on him. Like, bad Skeletor, bad. Then they do it to He-Man and it doesn't last long because every time he wants to do something good, he gets zapped.
What I loved is he had to have fucking like Evil Lyn or Beastman or Trapjaw explain the rest of his plans because he could never finish his sentences without getting zapped. Just tell them.
Just figure it out. You know what's going on. Just do it. And then trying to have his little cohorts trying to remove the belt and trying this, that, and the other, and he kept just getting madder and madder. Like, stop doing that. I'm fine. Leave me alone. It was so funny. I was cracking up so much watching that episode.
Watching him drop and fall after screaming was hysterical. Ah!
It was almost like an X-ray machine. It's like, is he going to start glowing now?
They did a really good job on this. Like it was goddamn funny without being cartoony.
Exactly.
Like that's the only way I could describe this. Yes, I know we were watching a cartoon, and like you just said, it was almost like an X-ray machine. It didn't actually show his bones, but it was like just might as well have.
Yep. If we went that way, I would have been like, they went a little too campy with this. At least they kept it somewhat grounded so that you could watch it with your kids. You know, adults can get a kick out of the show too,
without rolling their eyes.
Was.
Yeah. My wife did not. My daughter loved it, and my wife's like, I am so happy that you two are getting to share this moment. It's like, man, fuck you.
Damn straight, cool. Brother.
At least one of my kids likes He-Man.
Hey, He-Man good.
And now Zoe's even better because she likes He-Man. Yeah.
Hey, be a better person. Hey, there's plenty of public service announcements with all these episodes now.
Yeah, that's how I keep them in line, or how I can keep them in check of which is which.
Which is which? Mechanics lament. Here we begin with everybody starting to have issues with somebody saying something to him. While Mechanic is depressed at the actually use the word depressed at the apparent uselessness of his ability, an evil sorcerer manipulates him for his own ends. I like this because it was starting to introduce some of the other villains in the world that not even were working with Skeletor, at least not at this point. And this dude did some damage, actually. He actually took just about everybody out.
Yeah.
He came pretty damn close, so I like that.
He's as good of a second to Skeletor as Skeletor is to Hordak.
Yeah.
Like, he'd never have a snowball's chance at hell at beating Skeletor, but he's still a decent enough wizard that everyone else needs to watch their ass.
Yeah. Like, him and Evil Lyn would probably, like, be totally battling it out or dating.
Yes, one of the two. Or killing.
That would have been an interesting concept later on. Hey, we're both powerful. Both of us together could take him down.
Or I could take all your power. That's the Evil Lyn style.
Yeah.
That's how she do.
She's always got something else going on. But we that gets a little downgraded at around this point where she's not really sneaking behind the shadows trying to manipulate anything. She's just trying to do her job going forward.
And being the big sister all around the common room. Like, she's there to poke her head in and say something snarky to somebody. Like, Beastman, you smell. Trapjaw, you stay like you rust and you make so much noise and you squeak. Like she's got something tragic to say to each and every single person whenever she walks in the room, and it's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have fleas. What the hell? I just bathed this week.
Count Morzo. That's right. Well, I wrote down he's kind of a badass. Overlooked and underappreciated. Okay, all of our heroes need to start feeling that now.
I liked his imp form.
His what form? Oh, the imp?
Yeah, the imp form. Sorry, I had a yawn that I was fighting.
Oh, yeah. All right. Night of the Shadow Beast, episode number 13. Beastman introduces Skeletor to the Shadow Beast, large, powerful creatures that can attack at night in vast numbers. I appreciated the fact that they exploded a bunch of volcanoes to put some ash in the air to block out the sun and create an giant army invasion force, which seemed to be working for quite a while, actually.
They took one of the coolest characters or one of the coolest creatures from the original series, the Shadow Beasts, kind of spiffed them up a little bit and made them even scarier for today's audience or 2002's audience. And then, they made a whole lot more of them, made them nastier, and then put the volcanoes on top of that. So, I mean, they made a wild episode with this one.
Yeah, this is where I feel like the show's starting to pick right the hell back up again. Like, we're getting serious about, like, Skeletor. Seems like when they want to place, like, the filler episodes, they do that just before they do something with Skeletor about to do something bad to everybody.
Yes. So, but this one, it was a lot of fun with the Shadow Beasts only being able to come out during the dark. Ram Man, was it Ram Man that was afraid of the dark?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got another human issue where he's the strongest of them all, but he's terrified of the dark.
Yep.
Aw.
Scaredy cat.
Yeah. But it was just such a cool thing to see the Shadow Beasts, and you never really get to see them outside of the shadows in this series. Like they did them very, very well.
Yeah, I felt like they were fighting a fleet of like Balrogs from like Lord of the Rings. That was kind of funny to me.
Slightly, yeah. Like they were a good cross between a grizzly bear and a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, nasty little creatures. I appreciated that. I liked it. And what was it? Beastman, who actually captured one and was trying to make it like a little pet. I want to domesticate the baby. He was so disappointed. Oh, you want to use them while they kill people. Oh.
Yeah, Beastman is a lot like Hagrid in this series. Like he's a villain, but like he wants to control these beasts for his own collection and stuff. Like he doesn't necessarily want to give Skeletor a bunch of dragons that, are valuable to him. It's like he doesn't want to be Skeletor's bitch. Nobody really does. They just kind of have to be.
Yeah.
And Skeletor bullies his way to get everything, whether it be Beastman's collection of beasts or Triclops' weapons and things like that he's making. Skeletor is the bully on the block.
Yeah, Beastman only kind of gets super bully mode when it comes to Manny. So...
Yeah, that episode was okay. We'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Episode number 14, Underworld. I love this episode. I actually wrote down, holy fuck, this episode was awesome. Peace talks between the Spalians and the Caligars have broken down. King Randor, Prince Adam, and Man-at-Arms journey to Subternia to help them reach a settlement. And this is also the episode where Skeletor gets into a fight with He-Man and King Randor, and he can hold his damn own. In fact, he damn near could have killed him if he wanted to, it seemed like.
Yeah, his Havoc staff is unmatched.
Yeah, when he's wielding that bad boy or his two little swords, like it's like, oh, damn. And they actually animated an actual fight going on. It's like Randor was kind of holding his own, but it was like Skeletor holding his own against both He-Man full on and King Randor. It's like, damn, y'all gonna need a little more help to take down Skeletor, or He-Man's gonna have to get some more experience.
Yeah, because Skeletor's defense skills are on point.
Yeah. He's not a pushover. Like you can beat up his minions, you can't really take down Skeletor though.
No.
Let's see, was there anything else on that one? Great fight.
The bats were cool.
Yeah. The political crisis was kind of fun. I got a kick out of that. And was this the episode where like He-Man's manners or Adam's manners were like, hey, this is the wrong fork. Who needs to care about any of this stuff? And by the end of the episode, he's like, we're doing a dinner with people. Oh, can I go fight more people?
Yeah.
That kind of look.
Yeah, because it was also the one where the king had to tell him, oh, we're this sort of creature. And yes, I have extremely good hearing.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, shit.
Busted.
I farted too.
And then Mystery of God, I keep saying this wrong. Anwant Gar. After receiving a distressing vision, the sorcerer sends Prince Adam and Man-at-Arms to the small island of Anwant Gar to retrieve the Legacy Stones, which are ancient artifacts of great power still believed to exist. And this was a pretty solid episode. I like the Asian influence and what they did with Cyclone. It's a fine episode. I like the battle against the two giant statues. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, there was really nothing to complain about with this episode. Like, it was fun. You got to see Cyclone using his powers, which you didn't really get to see a whole lot of in the original series. And you got to see him use his weapons, which you didn't get to see at all. Like, nobody used their weapons in the original series.
Right.
So, I mean, this was really cool. His story was cool. His design was cool. He was well written. He was very well performed. I really enjoyed this iteration of Cyclone.
Yeah, and his look was utterly fantastic. I love the circle rings coming up around him.
Yes, they were really, really cool.
I'm going to see if I can show that really quick here. Share screen. So, yeah, you can kind of get a look. There we go.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. I really like the design. Good work.
I wish the people at home could just like feel and sense how happy I am just that we're looking at all these He-Man characters and talking about all these He-Man stories. Like, I fucking truly love He-Man.
I'd be the same if it was like, say, Voltron, or if I had actually watched this show before, I'd have some probably deeper thoughts other than it's kind of just first impression, first time watch for me. So I really didn't know what I was getting into. And by this point in the show, I'm like, this is really good. I'm pretty pleased. And I got some different taste than Kevin. I mean, I like my more space science fiction stuff than Kevin does, but Kevin gets a kick out of some of it.
Yeah, I'm not a total prude. Like, we definitely combine on the swords and sandals stuff. I'm more of a fantasy and horror type person than I am sci-fi.
Yeah, and I'm sci-fi horror with a little bit of fantasy. So it works out.
Yeah. Fantasy still has my monsters.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to do some Conan in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I know, right, brother?
That's going to be some shit.
Hells yeah. Okay, let's see. Episode number 16, The Monster Within. During a battle with the evil warriors, Man-E faces monster Guise is taken control of by Beastman, resulting in feelings of self-doubt for the hero. Yay, more self-doubt for everybody.
Angst. I have angst.
We're all a bunch of angsty teenagers in these outfits. Oh my god, let us free.
No, I'm all angsty and stuff.
This was an okay episode. There was a point in time when somebody was going invisible, and I'm like, hey, that's like the Predator.
Oh shit. I liked this episode. Like it had its cheese moment because yes, Manny Faces is an actor. Like that's something that they continued on from the original series, which was rather campy, and it still is, but whatever. But if I remember correctly, Manny Faces, and this is a Rob McCollum question to correct me. When he turned into that beast, he was not a good guy. Like he was a bad guy when he was that beast. It was the robot and his normal face that was the actor and the good guy. But in this, it was just he played that beast as one of his characters. He could use that face as a bestial character, but the downside is that Beastman could control it, and so that brought you back to the monster again that you knew as a kid. And they didn't quite show it well enough. They didn't quite show it long enough, but they showed his angst long enough, probably too long. Oh, I'll never do that again. Oh, I can't do that because Beastman will control me. Oh, I can't be that guy again. It's like,
we got the idea, brother.
Yeah. And then you already knew how it was going to end.
Yeah.
Because they make such a big deal of the fact that he's an actor. So he's acting.
I'm an actor.
Yeah, like it was very predictable that he was not going to be under Beastman's control, that He-Man was going to give him the courage and strength, and he did. And he outwitted the bad guys by acting like he was under Beastman's control.
I actually just freed He-Man. You thought I was shredding him to pieces.
I was acting
as an actor.
I'm not a monster.
I'm not a monster. No, pretty solid episode. I thought the performances were straight, pretty good. To your point, though, yeah, they did kind of hit the well too many times with the self-doubt. So,
yeah, I had faith in him. His friends had faith in him. Why don't you have faith in you, Manny? 2/3 of you had faith in you.
Public service announcement from the crew at Nostalgia TV. Just saying. You
got to respect yourself.
Respect yourself. Unless you're Roboto's Gambit, episode number 17, when Triclops attempts to conquer Eternia with a multiplying force of minions, only a chess-playing robot can devise a plan to stop it. His plan to stop it was to upgrade himself into a combat robot.
But it was fucking cool looking, though.
Yeah. But then he doesn't change out of that ever again. So he basically stays like that. I did appreciate them using the chess pieces and the game of chess to show his intelligence and that he was quite capable of thinking on his feet. So
yes. And I love that they kept his original design for the most part. What the original toy did is it had gears inside. And when you twisted his body, his torso, left and right, the gears would move back and forth. So it looked like robot parts moving.
Yeah.
So dumb, but so cool to see in this season or in this episode. And you're just kind of like, oh man, it looks just like the toy. It's got the crystal chest and everything, or the glass chest and everything. Cool.
It's so cool.
I felt like I was 3. I was like, I want that toy.
I would have wanted most of these guys, actually. If I was collecting those kind of toys.
Yeah, that I don't have a Skeletor somewhere around here is a miracle.
Oh god, there's some Skeletor statues and figures out there. I'm like, oh, if I had money for that, I totally would.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to drop $600 on a goddamn statue that looks like it would be the pride of my collection if I got it.
Yeah.
I showed that one to you guys like a few months ago. I was like, God damn, I want that thing.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I don't want to even like dig that picture out. Like, oh my god.
That $500 Voltron you showed me, the $2,000 fucking Transformers that self-transform. You're just like,
Oh,
fuck. Well, they're not 2,000. I think one of them's like 900 and the other one's 1,000.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, some of them are just so fucking amazing, and they're well worth the money, but not worth your life. And I would lose my life spending that money. So,
As would I. Not the battle we're going to choose to fight.
no.
And knowing is half the battle.
I'll live vicariously through somebody else's pictures. Thank you very much.
Exactly. I'll enjoy from afar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we keep our trust with everybody, Kevin. Episode 18. In an effort to strengthen the Master's defenses, Stratos journeys to the Ice Mountains to retrieve a rare metal called Eternium. I don't have too much written down on this one other than Lockjaw just made me crack up like the whole episode. But what did you think of this one?
This one was okay. This was another instance of their personal pride being an instant trigger for them. But it wasn't bad. Like I at first I thought it was going to be like a Shrek episode, trolls coming out from under the bridge. But I like the direction that it took. They were, again, for it not being a Skeletor episode, for it setting up a later episode, this was pretty darn good, actually. I'm thinking of the right one, right? Stratos being called a sissy by the fucking three giants.
I'm pretty sure about that, yeah.
Or not Stratos, Mechanic.
Mechanic, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because we then don't see the trolls again until the end of the season.
Yeah, the not Masters of Evil, but like Council of Evil or whatever the fuck.
Yep, Council of Evil. Council of Evil.
Masters of Evil was already taken.
Too true.
Thanks, Dr. Doom.
Legion of Doom. So.
The LOD.
Oh, what a rush.
Yeah.
Orko's Garden is episode number 19, when Orko's role of overseeing the gardens at the Royal Palace proves to be a lot more difficult than he first expected. He journeys to the Evergreen Forest to seek out Moss Man. And this is also where we get Evil Seed, don't we?
Yes. Yeah, Evil Seed is a lot like the character in Swamp Thing, Jason's character.
This is largely a filler episode too, everybody. Just another one of those.
Yeah, but it introduces that new character for the toy this week.
Yep.
Two characters.
Sell them toys. It's his toy commercial.
Hell yeah. Consumerism. Arr.
Obey. Buy.
Consume.
This is a fine episode. I did not write much other than Swamp Thing filler episode, Mossman, and Evil Seed. Cool names. That's about what I got.
I honestly liked Swamp Thing on Harley Quinn better than I liked Mossman on this.
I would probably agree with that.
And it wasn't that Mossman wasn't good in this; he just wasn't great.
Yeah,
and
this was a ho-hum episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, like they could have made him more like Swamp Thing, and be more peaceful with nature, and I don't want to say preachy about it, but a little bit, I guess.
A little bit.
They didn't do that with Mossman. They made him very normal, which was okay, I guess, but he's a little too normal for them not knowing who he is. Like,
right?
I don't know. They could have done the character a little bit differently for me, but again, it's one of those situations where you're like, "Oh shit!" Well, I was just super happy to see Mossman.
That's true. I don't think I really liked him much before, but he was fine, I guess.
I liked his action figure as a kid. He was felty.
Yes, I was gonna say it had a nice little fabric to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was fun to touch.
Oh
It
yeah,
was it was the original ASMR toy.
yeah.
I could rub this
Kind
on my
of
balls.
was. Yeah. Well, speaking about buzzing off, Kevin, that's episode number 20, Buzz Off, along with Orko journey to Veritas, a land that houses the powerful Crystal of Persenis. When the pair runs into three giants, here's where the giants were actually.
Oh,
Buzz Off is defeated and makes his way back to the Royal Palace, where he tells no one of the incident. He lost a battle, and please don't tell anybody that I got my ass beat. I didn't like this episode.
I like the purple troll. The other ones were kind of annoying.
Yeah, some of the trolls were fine, but some of these episodes at this point, I'm like, can we get to the actual story of the show, please?
A little
Instead
bit.
of the theme of the week with a don't tell secrets, keep secrets, self-doubt, hey, depression, hey.
Show an adult your privates. I mean, don't show in your, yeah.
But let's see here.
I'm
I don't got much on that one. I just wrote meh for Buzz Off's pride.
Meh. Fuck Buzz Off's pride.
But it is followed up by Snake Pit, number 21. Love this episode, as all of Eternia is put on high alert when Cobra Khan escapes from the Royal Palace prison compound. The Masters journey to the Mystic Mountains, where they inform the mysterious Zodak of the situation. This was awesome.
Yeah, they made the Zodak character really cool. Like I don't remember him being that cool in the original series, but I always remember he looked really awesome.
Yeah. And you also get tipped off to the snake creatures, Snakeman, and then King Hiss, the new big bad that's about to enter into the picture at some point. They like to, from this point on, they kind of show them in the background a little bit here and there. So if they're constantly giving you little Easter eggs on. These guys aren't exactly like leaving or going away. They're going to be hanging around a little bit.
Yes. And the action figures to these guys were cool back in the day. Like,
see, this is where I don't remember that like at all.
Cobra Khan was kind of okay.
Yeah.
You could like press his head or a button on his back and he squirted water out of his mouth. Like he didn't have the hood on the back of his head.
You know what? Maybe I do remember that then.
It was a skinnier head, I think, with like a leech mouth. And there was a leech character that looked very similar to him that had like hands.
You're jogging my memory a little bit. That does sound a little familiar now.
But King Hiss had a human shell, upper torso.
Yeah.
And you could take it off and it revealed a snake upper torso with snake arms.
Yeah.
And that thing was so cool to play with. Loved that toy.
I don't think I had that, but I think I had a friend who had that.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I'm terrified of snakes, and I still liked playing with that toy.
Pretty damn rad. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So really good episode. It's also it's actually considered to be the highest rated episode of the season.
Oh, dang.
So, well, that's according to IMDb ratings. Take that as you wish.
Wow. Oh, wait. I don't know. It looks like we've got an 8.7 down further.
Oh, yeah. Well, once you get to the final two episodes, yeah.
But again, that's a continuation of this episode. So,
yes.
We'll take it for,
Yeah, because the next couple episodes are more throwaway episodes.
Yeah.
Let's see. The island on Orca's island, Decker, the former teacher to Man-at-Arms, is looking forward to a visit from his former pupil. News of the meeting does not go unheard, however, and Decker is captured by the members of Clawful's species. I'm not going to lie. I was completely bored by this episode, and I didn't pay that much attention to it other than, okay, it's okay. It's just a filler episode. It made no difference if I watched it or not, actually.
Okay, so the takeaways from this was the clicking that they did to communicate.
Yes. The lobster creatures, I call them.
Yeah, and Clawful, the message being for Clawful, but Clawful being too stupid to understand what it is. He just knows that there's a noise. And fucking Evil Lynn tells him, it's your language. You should know what this is. Yeah, but I can't read.
His excuse was like, I wasn't really good at my own language anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, brother.
And so she has to decipher it for him.
Yep.
And you're just kind of like, oh my God, that poor creature. She's surrounded by all this stupid.
Yeah, poor Evil Lynn. Ugh.
And then it wasn't even him that makes life hell for Man-at-Arms. It was the cousin.
Yeah.
Clawful's cousins. They were waiting for him to get there.
Pretty much. Let's see. Sweet smell of victory. Hey, we're finally getting to Stinkor, everybody.
Stinkor. What a fan favorite.
Otherwise also known as Oedipus. Oedipus. I don't even know how to describe this episode. Even the synopsis here is like, huh? Oedipus, a petty Eternian criminal, witnesses the evil warriors victorious over the masters of the universe. Yeah, he kind of finagles his way in there and creates havoc. And
yeah, he wants to join the gang. He's a bad seed that wants to be part of the gang with the popular kids.
Yep.
And he looks at Skeletor's group like they are the fucking Brooklyn Dodgers and shit. Like, oh, that's so-and-so and knows all their stats. And you're like, okay.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, kinda. And it's funny, but it's actually almost cute where he's kind of like, well, I want to join up with the gang. Yeah. I want to be bad too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was
well, Skeletor took to him pretty quickly. He's like, I see what you can provide for us here. You are welcome to join us.
You're a great distraction.
And the fact that Skeletor actually wrapped his arm around him was like, hey, buddy, you're part of the team now. I'm like, dude, now you're going to reek.
Now you're going to reek.
Skeletor didn't seem to care. He's like, there's value. Almost every one of his minions, I call them minions, they have a value to them because they actually do provide a specific talent that he wants to utilize and use and manipulate, of course, but he doesn't surround himself with people that don't actually have anything to provide at all.
Right. Everyone's got something. Like for a
he doesn't have an Orko.
No, but he has an Evil Lynn. He's got someone who's more capable than Orko, but lacks the ability to do good like Orko does, and therefore isn't as capable somehow.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Pantor, though. Good kitty.
Big angry meow.
I like it when he gets mad and Skeletor's like, easy, Pantor.
Don't play with the guests.
Yes. That was so funny. I love that part too. Let's see here. Oh yeah. In episode 24, Separation, in an effort to separate themselves, Tuvar and Badra, still trapped in the single form of Too Bad, seek out the 3 pieces of the Triad of Decidium. And we get a little tip off to Hordak in this one. And because that's the person who created the 2 hemispheres on the planet by using the Triad to create destruction. But that's about it for Hordak. Just a little name drop and a little shadow and a little bit of his armor. No face, no reveal on that. This is where the dragon comes back. And it's a very solid episode. I really enjoyed it. And what was interesting about this one is no Skeletor in this episode at all.
Yeah, considering Hordak was mentioned, there was no mention of Skeletor, which is kind of like, oh, well, it didn't mean, okay, well then shit.
It's like Skeletor had the week off, apparently.
Yeah, like they failed to mention the fact that that was his boss, like that was his Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, because with Skeletor, at least, you would think if he had the slightest idea about the triad pieces, he'd be like, you know what? I want those. And the second he'd figure out, like, Too Bad is actually working to find them, hey, I want those. And he gets involved. That's just a level of complexity they probably just didn't want to get into at this stage of the game. Especially if they were going to take some time to build up to Hordak being introduced in another season.
True.
Which my guess would be if the show had been renewed for more 13 more episodes, I think at that point they would have introduced him a little more full on at that point.
I think so.
Then it feels like the world's like completely at war with He-Man.
Yeah, like that would have brought just an amazing level of complexity to the story. Like 3 sides, like it just would have been fun. But no. But you got to go and cancel our great show.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, at least Too Bad is still stuck within himself. Can't escape each other.
And I love that they actually punch each other in the head just like the toy used to. Like,
yep. I remember that toy. I think that was the last one that did not break on me before. They were given away by my mother when I went to college.
The one that self-harms?
Yeah. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. I'd always say that.
It was fun. All the villain toys were fun. The movements were so gimmicky, but addictive to do.
Yeah. And then we conclude with episodes 25, 26, The Council of Evil, parts 1 and 2. And boy, everybody gets arrested real quick in the in the first episode of this batch. And all according to Skeletor's plans that seem to be going exceedingly smooth. It's like, uh-oh, what's really going on here? And these two are just phenomenal. I wouldn't even know where to like start, because we still don't even know Skeletor's true plan. Of course, by episode 2 or part 2 of this, they're at Castle Grayskull, and he's basically storming it at this stage, and he's subdued He-Man, and he's strolling right along. He's about to screw shit up.
Yeah, he has separated and captured all of the masters individually. He got all the filler episode bad guys together as his B team, and since they were able to take out the masters independent or individually before, he got them to do it again. Like you said prior, divided and conquered, and he was going for the gold.
Yep. He wasn't screwing around no more. Like, all right, I'm trying this, that's not working. I gotta try something new here. And it comes across very well. It was exceedingly well written. The dialogue was sharp. And I still like the tension between all the villains themselves. Like, hey, I'm gonna, like, what was his name? Morzo. Him even try, like I mentioned it earlier, like him trying to take out Skeletor while his back was turned and then realizing, oh shit, I just fucked up. And then Skeletor just kind of comes right up to him and just takes his stupid little gems, and he's like, these are mine now.
Yeah. And then opens up a portal in the sky.
Yep. And badness is about to ensue. Great ending, great leave you wanting for more. So I had an awesome time watching these two.
Nice. It was a good ending. Like if they knew that there was a second season coming, this was a good ending. I liked it.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure they had the renewal already by this stage.
I
would hope so.
Yeah, because it was doing, like, story progression wise, it was doing really well. Granted, it didn't get 26 episodes or didn't get renewed for 26 episodes. It only got renewed for 13.
Correct.
But they were all still really solid, and the show was still being enjoyed greatly.
Yeah, the show is firing on all cylinders, and they even started to allude to more backstory with Duncan and Skeletor being like old buddies, fighting in wars together. Like, and then seeing just Man of War go all like War Machine, just trying to take out Skeletor, and Skeletor's just like, nice try, I guess. He just grabs him by the head and the shoulder and just is like, yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass now.
Yeah, just chucks him down.
Yep. Totally destroys his outfit.
Rips his arm off. Well, the metal part of his arm.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
Very good stuff.
And then they leave you thinking Skeletor, the masters are all free and coming to help He-Man, but it's Evil Lyn and Beastman, Triclops, and Trapjaw.
Yep.
Who Skeletor
and
thinks
then
is coming to back
he
up
realizes, oh crap, it's not. Oh shit. If it was a little more M-rated, they probably would have had him go, oh shit.
Yeah, right. Fuck me.
Because it does make you wonder how the hell he's going to get out of this situation entirely.
It's pretty awesome. I want the new movie to hurry up and come out so we can get to the next season already.
Right. And everybody, we are going to be doing that, probably timing it for when the movie does come out. So we'll be doing a couple movies. We'll be doing more of the show. So at that point, we'll wrap up our coverage on He-Man. Might include a few other things if we can procure the appropriate things. We might even do a little old school He-Man. Just
a little something special, a little treat.
Yep. I think that'll be a fun time for everybody. Now, I don't think we're getting... Voltron's supposed to be kind of coming out maybe next year. I'm thinking more 2027 for that one based on special effects, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah. Golly, I can't wait to see that, though.
I have been begging for one for years, but it's being made by Amazon MGM. And they're the ones who are doing the He-Man movie, too. So we will see. It could either be good or it could be pretty bad.
It could look like the fucking Power Rangers, and I'd still be okay as long as it's not like 100% AI or CG.
Yeah. Well, if they ever get their hands on Thundercats, you can expect that for sure, though.
That'd be awesome.
Kevin?
Just as long as they got...
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, just as long as they got Vin Diesel to play Panthro.
That would be dope. Just saying. That fan trailer from years ago was fantastic. Love that thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Just using elements from like Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, for the glowing eyes?
Yeah, and everything, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Love that. Got any other thoughts for everybody before we wrap it up, Give?
This is how reboots are supposed to be done.
Yes.
It's not a sequel. It is a reboot. But it's a reboot done within the same mythology as the original. They retell it with a different voice, and god damn, is it just really good.
Yeah, it's done better than you would possibly think it is, and I appreciated the effort and the care that was put in here. The writing staff clearly wanted to give everybody a good quality show that still spoke to a young audience while also honoring the older audience that stuck with it for like 20 years or better. And, the Skeletor was a proper villain. He wasn't stupid. And just the dialogue was always pretty damn good. Sure, some episodes are a little too formula, but it doesn't detract from the actual quality of the show. It actually I think it worked out very well, and I'm sorry that it ended the way it did, but I'm enjoying it now for the first time, and I want to thank you for getting this on our schedule, Kevin.
I want to thank you for letting us have it on the schedule. Like, He-Man is one of my guilty pleasures.
Oh, God,
Like,
yeah.
If I could still have my He-Man chonies, I would.
He-Man chonies.
So, all the white people home going, "What's that?" That's your underwear, kids.
That's an underwear. Oh, my God.
I didn't realize that was a Spanish word until like I was 36. And my buddy Chris was like, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. I'm like, I didn't make any reference to Spanish at all. And he says, chones. And I'm like, oh, well, I get, okay, sure.
Chones.
I was like, I grew up in California. I had no fucking idea. So I guess I speak Spanglish. Whatever.
Spanglish. You tell him, Kevin.
Spanglish.
Spanglish. Well, that's probably as good a time as any. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out this week with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe from 2002. Yes, that was the whole season 1, so thank you for hanging in there with us, everybody. I'm sure you had a pretty good time. If you did, hit the like button down below. It would very much help. Share us out there. Subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification. And, hey, you all have a good Friday. You can now punch out. The graveyard shift is concluded this time.